Hi, I'm Wayne Cassio. For some time now, demographers have been telling us the millennials are coming. Actually, the millennials are here. Sometimes known as Generation Y, in developed countries, millennials generally include those born 1980 or later. In developing countries, however, millennials generally include those born 1990 or later. Millennials will comprise more than 40% of the U.S. workforce by 2020, and fully half of the global workforce well before that. One employer that has done an exceptional job of engaging and integrating millennials is KFC, owned by Yum Brands. This year, the Sherm Foundation traveled to Sydney, Australia, to learn more about KFC's recipe for success with younger workers and how it engages and integrates this important and growing segment of the global workforce.
KFC operations in Australia, we've got about 620 restaurants. Our total sales turnover is around 1.5 billion US. We employ about 30,000 people around the country. Globally, we're nearly close to 20,000 restaurants. That includes the US and China, which are obviously our two biggest markets. We're in about 119 countries around the world. Well, when you talk about how centralized we are, our model has to be a very decentralized global business. We're obviously a franchise system, so our trademarks around the use of what the kernel looks like and how our assets are presented has a consistent look and feel globally, but there is a huge amount of autonomy in terms of how we bring the brand to life in each market, particularly in the way that we execute the menu and the way that we run the brand in individual countries. One of the things that we've put a lot of effort into from a cultural point of view is to make sure that everyone in our, what we call our restaurant support centre, has a close affiliation with the field and the stores. We don't want to create this them and us mentality. Anyone who joins our organisation above store has to work in stores. They cannot set foot into the head office until they've worked in stores for a number of weeks. We require everyone in our head office to work at least one day a year in a restaurant and kind of get a feel and an understanding about what the day in the life of a restaurant employee is.
I worked in a restaurant for 7 weeks before I went into my legal role. I learned an awful lot actually, not only how to cook chicken and serve customers, but I learned that 14-year-olds can be very good teachers to people who are not necessarily used to the in-restaurant environment.
Each country's millennials are different, but because of globalization, social media, the exporting of Western culture, and the speed of change, millennials worldwide are more similar to one another than to older generations within their nations.
KFC builds fun by allowing us to be the people that we want to be and show our true colours. Day in, day out, when you walk into a restaurant, you'll see a team member smiling, dancing, even singing to a song. It's about allowing them to be themselves, and I think that creates a culture where people are open, honest and happy. We partnered with Make-A-Wish in my old restaurant where we actually got to spend a whole day out with some of the children that have been finding it hard, and our team members spent a day playing with them on the playgrounds and things like that. And that not only helped out Make-A-Wish or those little team members, but my team also just became a family that day because they saw what difference that they can make.
We help our younger workers grow up in essentially what is their second family. We teach them basic job skills and life skills, simple things like turning up to work on time, striving for goals, achieving results and teamwork.
Because we deal with very little hierarchy in the way that we operate, we want the best ideas to win, and that doesn't matter who they come from.
At work, my managers have created like a sort of family atmosphere around there. So everyone's pretty much a family, working with different personalities, getting to know each other very well, and yeah, just going to work every day knowing the managers care about you. They ask you questions about how school's going, how sport's going, and how life is pretty much.
Yum Brands operates in 128 countries and territories, and it includes 3 powerful brands, KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell. With more than $13 billion in annual revenues, 40,000 restaurants, and 1.5 million associates, Yum is a global leader in the quick-service restaurant business. To support a younger workforce, you have to understand the circumstances and needs of the local youth population. Today's younger worker expects on-demand communication and information. KFC is using one-on-one discussions and also building a social media app and other technologies to instantly capture the needs and desires of young employees.
KFC goes about finding people to staff its restaurants in a couple of different ways. Employee referrals are actually probably the most effective way to find new staff. Then we would also, at times, our restaurant managers build relationships with the local school, with the careers advisors. We will use traditional advertising, perhaps we'll use social media, so Facebook's something we've used on occasion to kind of generate some interest. And we're finding social media generates more and more interest, especially for the young people, to come on board and join the team.
A lot of young people these days have an interest in things beyond just getting paid. They like to work for an organisation that has a soul. They like to work for an organisation that is doing something for the community. They like to work for an honest, authentic, genuine organisation. And creating a sense that who's who they are working for, rather than just being a cog in the sort of the machine.
From their first interview, we teach them how to be in an interview. We give them feedback on what they should be wearing, even if we don't, ultimately hire them at the end of the day. They learn life skills from the moment that they walk into one of our restaurants.
If they're younger than 17, 16 years old, we bring the parents in. And the reason for this is a lot of team members will say yes to try and get the job, and they won't understand what they're saying yes to a lot of the time. And we give what's called a realistic job preview. So after we do the realistic job preview with the parents, we need the parents to approve their child working there. So we actually ask them for their approval to sign a document saying that they're happy for them to work with us.
So I think what we do is we take young people and not just teach them job skills, but we teach them far more than that. We teach them life skills that they can take with them for the rest of their lives.
Millennials have grown up amid more sophisticated technologies, and they've been exposed to them earlier than members of previous generations ever were. This is a group that grew up texting and instant messaging. Mastering new technologies is easy for them.
Well, technology is very, very important in our restaurants, from anything from rostering employees to the ordering process to the point of sale. Right now, for example, we are working hard on mobile ordering. We're finding young people want everything on demand. So whether it's their training or we're setting up a communication process that goes direct now to team members, which is called Yammer. But we need accessible and two-way communication with young people now more than ever. We're spending more and more time on allocating resources to social media and responding to social media, and also using social media to sort of interact with our consumers and learn from what they like. So things like ordering, those type of process, deployment of staff, all those things are becoming fully automated, so we can make sure that we free the manager's time up to spend more time with the customer and with their team.
To appreciate the size and scale of Yum's KFC operations just in China, consider that there are 4,600 KFCs in more than 900 Chinese cities. As a testament to its success, the British Broadcasting Company recently named KFC the #1 foreign brand in China.
When we onboard people, we don't actually onboard them as a team member who's going to work for a few months or a year. We actually look at the future of Australia and the future of KFC.
Young people at that time of their lives where they just want to have fun, that they realise there's a two-way contract here where yes, you'll have a lot of fun, but it'll be a lot of hard work in the process too.
Integrating new staff members for us is I guess our core strength.
The crew members, initially they'd be training in one of two areas. So it'll either be front of house, which we call front counter service, and the other would be back of house, so they'd be cooking and preparing product. So they both become experts in any one of those two, and as time goes on, what we'll do is what we call cross-training. So then we'll take someone from the front counter and make them experts also in cooking product. That helps us become far more productive and also gives the versatility with the employees to be able to get more hours and also contribute more to the business.
The store manager is the leader, and their positive attitude, their development, their care factor, their coaching and supporting not only develops the young staff but their assistants and their shift supervisors.
Millennials are comfortable in their acceptance of differences among people. Their mantra is simple: challenge convention, find new and better ways of doing things. This is both good news and bad news for employers. Generally speaking, Millennials will be good at working with people from all walks of life, engaging in multiple tasks, filtering out distractions, and juggling numerous projects. However, they may also have short attention spans, the need for frequent stimulation and entertainment, and a blurring of the lines between work and leisure time while on the job.
We certainly have an engagement tool that we use. It's called the Voice of Champions. So each year, every restaurant general manager will go through it, and all the team members will respond. For us, engaging our employees is an incredibly important thing. And for us, it goes beyond sort of training them or career paths. It's how do we make them excited to come along to work on a daily basis.
To engage younger employees, corporate support, for example, those in HR, finance, and call centers, must reinforce company culture in the field. Those employees need to experience firsthand the field operations culture that KFC offers. KFC requires that all corporate managers frequently get direct work experience in the stores to understand the jobs, the culture, and the needs of the younger workers performing those jobs.
I think KFC compares very, very positively to industry trends on employee turnover. Typical turnover rates in the industry would probably be in the area of 65 to 70%, and in some instances would go as high as 100%. We're currently at just under 50%.
Top companies like KFC have brought mentoring in as a component of their leadership development. Mentoring is a major part of the evolution of a modern leader. It started with the Greeks hundreds of years ago, but with the global digital business world, the ambiguity, the risks, the uncertainty that we work in has increased the premium of talking to someone with more experience than you have.
Mentoring is one of the best aspects of anyone that can ever have in their career. It gives you an opportunity to understand where you possibly can be, but it gives you someone who's already developed and teaches you how to develop yourself and the opportunities that you have within the business.
67% of mentors learn from their mentee. Particularly, you might picture an older person dealing with a digital native. They will learn a lot about modern ways of communication from a younger person as that younger person tries to learn from them about the issues and risks and challenges they'll face in top leadership.
You ask the store managers that have been around for a long time, one of the biggest motivations they get out of the role is actually coaching and mentoring young people as they transition through an age of around what could be 15 through to about 18 or 20.
I think the great restaurant managers take this role of coaching and mentoring and spread it to a broader group within the restaurant. So they've got their assistant managers, their shift supervisors, all responsible for coaching and mentoring, and even some of their longer term team members take on specific roles with new recruits in the restaurant.
When you use innovative technologies to make your business more efficient, that allows managers more time to spend coaching their younger employees. At KFC, the workforce is largely comprised of teenagers with all the life challenges they experience at that age. Advances in technology that improve operations now allow managers to be life coaches and to provide emotional support for younger workers. KFC essentially provides these workers with a second family, and that is a key to its outstanding performance and retention.
Yeah, recognition is it's an amazing thing. For a lot of people, they feel that it is culturally nuanced, but I've found that everywhere you go, no matter what job you do, no matter who you are, people love a pat on the back. And sincerity is just so important when it comes to that. So looking someone in the eye and saying, gee, I really appreciate the job that you're doing, just goes a long way everywhere.
KFC's recognition is second to none. We do incentives every 3 months. Anyone can receive anywhere up to nearly $10,000 every 3 months if their KPIs are being hit.
During staff meetings, we have, say, Team Member of the Month. They're selected by the managers. They're rewarded with a box of chocolates, or even people are recognised for performance throughout the shifts. They get iTunes gift cards, movie tickets, and there's another card. We've got a recognition card, the Champs card. I've also got one from my former manager. She gave it to me a couple of years back and I still have it on my fridge at the moment.
A decentralized approach to operations, supported by a global brand, allows for local autonomy to build a culture of fun, flexibility, and family that meets the needs of the local employee population, yet still provides corporate consistency. KFC has built a corporate culture that supports its younger population of workers. This has resulted in outstanding performance and retention. KFC uses technology, training, recognition, scheduling flexibility, job variety, and leadership development programs as key levers to integrate and engage younger workers. In addition, and more importantly, KFC has trained managers how to provide the social support and life coaching that teens need to be ready and happy to work. In essence, this creates a feeling of a second family for the teens. Managers are also taught, encouraged, and given the autonomy to make work fun.
We've done a bunch of research on why young people stay with KFC. One is that they get the opportunity to be the best that they can possibly be for themselves rather than for the organisation. The other thing is they get the opportunity to make a difference in what they do. They can make a difference to the customer, and people enjoy that. They get to make a difference to the people they work around and to our community as well. And the last thing is they love fun, as everyone does, but we absolutely provide an environment where we acknowledge that fun's actually okay.
So once a year, we set out a challenge to all our restaurants to try and raise funds for the World Food Programme. And we find this is a huge team building and fun opportunity for our team members in our restaurants to feel like they're making a difference to the bigger world. And they choose activities from fun car washes to fun and games evenings to fundraising charities and all sorts of things where they get our customers as well as their friends involved in helping raise funds.
The vast majority of people join us initially in saying that they're just doing it to get a bit of part-time money whilst they're at university or doing some other studies or filling in something else. And we have a large number of people who continue and stay with us for many, many years after that. And it's because they enjoy the environment, they enjoy the people that they work with.
To retain younger workers, it is important to provide training that young employees can see will benefit them personally. The training also must support the organization's goals. KFC provides younger workers with life skills and work skills that will provide a solid foundation, either for internal career advancement, which many pursue, or for a future career with another organization.
I stay in KFC because there is not one day within this business that I feel as though I'm not being developed, that I'm not being cared about. It is a family-orientated mindset, but that family orientation is about growing as a person and being the best person you can possibly be, and that's what KFC allows me to do. It allows me to grow as a person day in, day out, mentally and physically, and I can't imagine myself being anywhere else.
Because I love my job, because everyone was a family, so I just stuck around and now I'm shift supervisor, so I'm pretty happy with that.
We often talk about it being a fabulous business with a lot of smart people, but I think what makes a difference is that it's fabulously smart, committed people who are also really nice and who have very low egos. And I think when you get that combination, it becomes an environment where people blossom.
It's a very difficult thing to become an employer of choice, and with social media, employees will vote on you at times when you can't see or hear. So you have to be completely transparent. The leadership has to be genuine, and you have to have processes in place from the beginning of a time that a person starts with the company through to the end that helps them with their career, recognises and respects their personal life, and keeps them fully informed on where the company's going, what the strategies are, what the objectives. Companies that do that very well are the employers of choice, and others are struggling to get there.
So what's the secret sauce KFC applies to integrate and engage younger workers? It is flexibility, family, and fun. The result is a work environment that allows young employees to thrive and to be the best they can be now and into the future while supporting the goals of the organization. KFC has clearly developed a winning recipe for integrating and engaging younger workers, and this one, unlike KFC's original chicken recipe, can be duplicated by progressive organizations.